Previously on the Who Dat Weekly. So the Saints have a series of decisions they need to make. Obviously, as you can see on this list, Derek Carr is holding the first place because he has the largest. He's got the largest contract out of all of those players, which, like I said before, was a stupid contract. So now the question remains is who would you cut? So here are my suggestions of what the Saints should do. So, in my humble opinion, Derek Carr should be atop that list. He has trouble reading the defenses. He's too busy trying to look for the deep ball too often. He also holds the ball too long. Now, granted, sometimes the O-line will be at fault there, so I can't necessarily blame him for that. But at the same time, it doesn't help his case whatsoever. He just finds ways to either trying to throw the deep ball or he's holding on to it. Or he does a short pass at the worst timing possible. Like, his timing is terrible. And that's why he's number one on my cut candidate. Now, here's the downside thing, and I've mentioned this before already. If you hadn't noticed, his dead cap is humongous. It's huge. And he's only in technically he's now year 3, but he has been fully paid, guaranteed for all that money. Now they did restructure his contract, so it does make that a little easier on him. Let's say we cut Derek Carr here. I'm going to do some math here. Well, guess what? Now we just put ourselves in the negative digits. We went from $26 million in cap space to negative 33. Even cutting him now would be a bad idea.
A few moments later.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Hey, what's good? It's your favorite Who Dat from the Dirty Dell, baby. Alright, welcome to another episode of the Who Dat Weekly podcast, baby. Man, we got another breaking news, and once again, it revolves around Derek Carr. Something we just simply did not anticipate. Derek Carr has announced that he is retiring. That's right, you heard that correctly. He is retiring. Like, it blew my mind. It blew everybody's mind. Nobody saw this coming. Like, it was like not even an option to any of us because Derek Carr is, I think, 34 years old. I think or 32, whichever year he is. I think he turns 34 this year. So for him to consider retirement just blows all minds. Like, I didn't see this coming. None of us saw this coming. And this is huge for so many reasons because, one, we're finally gone from Derek Carr. Or should I say, we're finally gotten rid of the lemon that he is. So, and Who Dat Nation celebrating all over social media. It's like a party app right on the app right now. Oh, man, it's hilarious. All the memes come in place. And, of course, we got some more salty Derek Carr fans. We're going to post some of that later in this video. So prepare yourselves for more salty Derek Carr fans. But But goodness gracious, I just can't believe this actually happened. And I wish I was kidding myself. I'm like, wait, did I just see this correctly? Derek Carr retired? Holy crap. None of us saw this coming. So, and this opens a door to Tyler Shuck basically getting an opportunity to be a starting quarterback this season. But it also opens a door for Spencer Rattler to be a starting quarterback for this season. And also opens a third option, which is something I don't know if the Saints will consider. The third option would be for Saints to bring in another veteran quarterback just so he can fill in the gap until either Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck is ready. We'll talk about that in a second. So, but this is huge for, like I just said, this is huge. So, but here's the big thing that I have to kind of give him a little respect for. The big thing here with him retiring so suddenly, him retiring so suddenly causes our cap space for next season to be significantly better than what we were anticipating if we were to cut him like this year or after his third year in the contract. This is huge. We're actually finally able to save some money. In fact, our cap space for this year just got bigger. It actually went up instead of down, and we can, if we were to bring in a veteran quarterback, we can actually bring some people in. Maybe we could bring another receiver, like I mentioned in my previous video. Did I mention it? I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something else. But I could they could do that right this minute now, so they could bring in, Keenan Allen. I doubt they do that, though, but they could bring in Tyler Boyd. They could bring in DJ Chark. I mean, they could bring in some of these other veteran receivers, just we all know they need veteran receiver help right now, because who knows if Chris Tyree and Moochie Dixon will actually be the answers to the team. So, as I stated in a previous video, but this opens a door to more possibilities of what the Saints could do now with that extra cash in hand. So, and look, I'm not trying to come across as I'm just so happy we're in praising that we finally gotten rid of someone who's injury prone, and it may come across me celebrating an injury. That is not what's happening here. That's not what's happening here. Here's what's happening here. We have been needing to move on from the Dennis Allen era for a long time. And Derek Carr is part of that Dennis Allen era. And simply enough, Derek Carr just simply didn't work out for us. I've mentioned this multiple times. It just didn't work out. And yeah, that's all there is to it. That's the reason why we're all celebrating, because we've been wanting a fresh start since last season ended. We just knew this team just simply wasn't working. We got to make some changes, and thankfully the Saints did that by hiring Kellen Moore. He brought his own coaching staff, which I'm really excited about, by the way. That'll be a video for another topic later on, but we're talking about the now, and things need to change. And Derek Carr still being on the team just was a reminder of what didn't work in the last 3 years. So, I don't hate him as a human being. Let me make that clear. I don't hate him as a human being because I sympathize with him in regard to the shoulder injury. I had shoulder injury myself. I had to get surgery on it. My surgery was all banged up from football, and it was a dislocated cuff, and his is much different, but still, I can sympathize with that as a human being. We have to remember that we're all human in the end, and that we have to realize these things happen, and surgery sucks. Surgery really does suck, and when I had surgery, I couldn't do anything for a couple months. It took at least month 3 after my surgery for me to actually lift some weights, like a 5-pounder weight, or maybe throw a football. Maybe not a football, but you know what I'm talking about. Just basically lift stuff. It sucked. So it's I can sympathize with Derek Carr in that aspect, and I do not wish that kind of surgery on anybody, especially Derek Carr. So I totally understand where he's coming from, and this is a difficult decision for him. This was a difficult decision because football is all he knows. I would hope that maybe he has some kind of backup plan for post-football retirement now. I saw that he was doing some kind of some kind of car advertising, which I thought was kind of hilarious considering his last name's Carr. I would hope he's not selling lemons, if you know what I mean. I'm sorry, enough with the jokes, but still, it's like in the end, Carr, thank you for what you tried to do, but in the end, it just didn't work. You were just a quarterback that you tried to fit in with New Orleans, but it wasn't a good fit for the end, and I'm sorry that you got injured, and that sucks. That absolutely sucks. But this is for the best for not only yourself, but for us fans, and for the organization itself, and the team. So this is a fresh start that needed to happen, and I couldn't emphasize that any further. So, best of luck to you, Derek Carr. I will be praying for a speedy recovery, and So let's talk about what's going to happen now. As I mentioned, the Saints might consider bringing in a veteran quarterback. Who would that veteran quarterback be? Well, for starters, it better not be Aaron Rodgers. Oh, anybody but him. Steelers, you can have him. Anybody but us. Look, I'm done with veteran quarterbacks. I don't want another veteran quarterback. Start me either Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler. One of those two. Give me one of those two options. I don't care. But if we have to bring in a veteran quarterback, give me Teddy Bridgewater. We all remember Teddy Bridgewater, right? He actually was pretty decent with us when Drew Brees went down that one season, 2019, and he actually balled out pretty well with us. Was he perfect? No, but he didn't lose a single game with us, and that's something huge. Now, granted, the team has changed over time, so I'm not expecting the same results, but he would be a much-needed veteran presence that would be helpful, especially with a brand-new head coach who's new to the coaching gig, and he's got some coaching experience himself, too, before he decided to re-enter the NFL and unretire, essentially. And he would be a good veteran presence to Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler, and I see this as a win-win scenario for us. Now, what other quarterbacks could be out there? I can't think of any off the top of my head other than Aaron Rodgers and Teddy Bridgewater. Thank you. I was just talking about him. Come on, Chris. I get forgetful sometimes. But anyway, with that being said, whatever other options they throw out there will be interesting to see. So, but with that being said, it's up to them now. I don't know what their plans are now. They could just simply roll with what they got. Because here's the other scenario they could do. Now that Derek Carr's officially gone, and we already talked about adding another veteran quarterback. What if they either start Rattler or they start Shuck? And see how they do without a veteran in mind. So that's going to be interesting to see. And honestly, I'd be more excited to see that happen than seeing another veteran quarterback take over the reins of the offense. Especially a veteran quarterback who, and this is probably one of the cons of bringing another veteran quarterback, having somebody who's not familiar with the new offense, especially a brand new offense that's being installed here in New Orleans. And Tyler Shuck would probably be the better quarterback of the current quarterback room that we got right now. And Jake Hayner, he might be a lucky dog. He might actually be able to stay. But we'll talk about him later. But anyway, it'd be interesting to see because the more I see Tyler Shuck out there, and I'll post a few videos because I saw him practicing in rookie training camp just recently, and before training camp, he was actually throwing balls to the Saints' current receivers on the team, and he's building confidence in me. He's building that confidence for me to have confidence in him. If that makes any sense. So, and I've seen some really good balls from him, like the ones he's thrown from, according to videos I've seen on Facebook, Twitter, etc. It looks promising. So obviously it's not. I don't want to bank too much on those videos because it's a different story when you're actually playing a football game. So there's a difference maker. So, but all in all, he's giving me more reason to be hopeful about this team for next season. Now, like I said, I've stated before, I don't expect this team to be any good next year, whether we had Carr or not. So, what I'm thinking will happen this year is that either Tyler Shuck is a full-time starter for next season, he beats out Rattler, or Rattler will play a couple games, he doesn't pan out well, and then they start Shuck later in the season. I don't know which comes first, or the third option, the veteran quarterback, comes in. I don't know which comes first. So, but we're going to be keeping our watchful eyes on this one, because this latest development is just, it pertains my curiosity even more, and I love it. So, but as promised, we have another segment of some angry Derek Carr stands. And I'm sure there's more, but these are the ones that people have sent to me so far. Let's start with this one genius, and this is all from today's feed, by the way. This genius said, "Goodbye, another moron blocked and muted like that other fool. Talk to yourself. We don't need a quarterback. We have Carr and Jake, so get the F out of here." Yeah, who wants to tell him that Derek Carr just retired? Yeah, enjoy that. So, and Jake might be lucky enough to get on the team still, but we all know Jake ain't no starting quarterback, not even a long shot. Like, you could just toss that idea right out the window. So, here's another genius. This guy said, "Nah, Saints fans really hated Derek Carr. They on my timeline praising the Lord like that he retired. LMAO, shake my head." So I haven't seen any of that, so I don't know what he's talking about. But one thing for sure, we are praising that he's finally gone, because he has been one of the main problems to the Saints last season. So if you're really getting upset that that he moved on himself and the Saints are moving on, that's a you problem there, buddy. And also tells me you're extra salty. Here, let me pour some salt in those tears for you. Alright, let's see the next one. Let's see here. People who celebrate injuries are so weird, man. Go talk to some people in real life. Like I mentioned earlier, we're not celebrating the injury. We're celebrating the idea that we're finally moving on. And I don't need to repeat myself, Artie. Cat, sorry, my cat's like pushing my camera. Sorry about that. But like I said, we're not celebrating the injury. So this guy's just flat out dead wrong, and he's probably upset because he's misinterpreting the whole thing. Maybe reading comprehension isn't your strong suit, buddy. Alright, and last but not least, this genius said he was the reason your garbage franchise didn't go 0-17 last year. Like, yeah, that's some BS right there. Derek Carr was all... Like, Derek Carr in his entire career has almost been the reason why the Raiders themselves were bad. Like, come on, man. Like, the Raiders with him could have been winless too. The Raiders just were able to at least put something together that he could work with at the time. So, like, come on, man. And plus, I think we probably could have won a few games with Spencer Rattler and maybe Jake Haener, but Jake Haener proved he was nothing, and Spencer Rattler, well, like I said, circumstances happen. I mean, I guess the same circumstances happened for Jake Haener too, so I'll be honest with you about that. But at the same time, come on. You know that's just wrong. Like, Derek Carr still lost us some games too, so, yeah, nice try. Miss me on that. So, alright, that's another segment of those morons on Twitter, and I absolutely love roasting morons on Twitter. So, but with that being said, today's episode is relatively shorter than normal, but thank you all for tuning in. Of course, we'll have another episode probably sometime next week, and if you haven't checked out my last episode I posted literally the other night, go check that out. It's already posted on YouTube and on Facebook, on Instagram. You can find it wherever. So, and if you go nowhere, my Facebook and Instagram page are tagged in the bottom of the description. So, anyway, with that being said, that's all I got for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, again, I'll talk to you guys later. Who dat, baby?